Libra full moon, balance meeting challenge. Allow me to pull on the astrological threads and maybe weave some of them together for the April the 13th full moon in Libra at 23 degrees 19 minutes. I'm Sonia from Celestia Astrology. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoy this, please do remember to like, subscribe and comment on how you're experiencing this full moon. Have you been feeling pulled in opposite directions lately? The full moon in Libra amplifies tensions between your need for balance and external pressures demanding immediate action. This full moon arrives as we leave eclipse season, like the final chapter of a story that began with the Libra Aries Eclipses in 2023 to 2025. Picture yourself on a balance beam, one side pulling towards harmony and the other towards decisive action. If you've been working on healing relationships or addressing justice issues since the Libra eclipses began, this lunation may be a revealing checkpoint, a culmination, or a clarification of where your focus is needed. Allow the moonlight to illuminate your progress, showing you exactly where you stand in your journey towards equilibrium. As the first lunation moving us past eclipse season, and also the first Libra moon since the Libra eclipses concluded, this Libra full moon echoes a culmination of themes seeded during the previous Libra eclipses in 2023 to 2024, before the nodal axis shifted to Pisces and Virgo. Though that eclipse window has now closed, this full moon may bring to light the realizations, decisions, and emotional reckonings from that time, offering an opportunity for synthesis and understanding as events mature. On October the 2nd, 2024, a new moon solar eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra began a new cycle of growth around identity and relationships, balance, and self-other dynamics. This full moon at 23 degrees of Libra may bring closure, illumination, or resolution to what began around that time. What contracts, either literal or metaphorical, could have run their course? Are there any patterns of accommodation or avoidance now ready to rest? The wisdom of the decan of Libra 3 is that the peace we seek cannot be found externally. It must be cultivated inwardly. The world may spin around us, but we are invited to find our centre and rest in the eye of the storm. Libra's cardinal air nature brings action and intellectual clarity with this lunation. This focuses on thinking our way to new understanding, particularly regarding our connections with others and our sense of fairness in the world. The timing holds special potency as we move deeper into spring in the northern hemisphere, autumn in the southern. Occurring at this point in the wheel of the year, this lunation mirrors natural cycles. Just as spring brings renewal and new life to dormant fields, we are asked how we might rejuvenate and bring new life into our relationships. Southern hemisphere dwellers, witnessing nature prepare for rest, are invited to consider what must be released to restore balance. The revelatory nature of this full moon may feel unsettling, like stepping into a brightly lit room after being in dim light. The sudden illumination may feel jarring. You might see relationship patterns with crystal clarity, patterns developing over the past 2 years, but only now fully visible. This is even more possible than with any other full moon, as ruler Venus stations direct from her 40-day retrograde within less than an hour of the exact full moon. Stations tend to carry intensity of the planet's significations and can also clarify what the retrograde has signified for us. This isn't always comfortable, but it's helpful to recognize what the universe is signaling to you for growth. You might recognize where you've sacrificed too much in the name of keeping peace, or where you've been rigid when flexibility was needed. Perfect balance, but for continuous recalibration that keeps us centered amid life's fluctuations. Venus, the planet of peace and harmony, rules Libra, while Saturn, the lord of time, is in exaltation, a combination speaking to both pleasure and responsibility in our connections. This full moon illuminates where we've sought harmony but maybe haven't fully achieved it, showing us the gap between ideals and reality. We can ask ourselves, what adjustments are needed now? Look back over the past 2 years to trace your balance-seeking journey. What relationship themes have recurred? Where have you established more equitable connections? What still feels out of alignment? The answers are uniquely yours, but the light of the full moon is asking you to pay attention to them. This full moon illuminates themes you've been working with since 2023. Lunar light shines on Libra-ruled areas of your life, bringing themes related to relationships, justice, harmony and balance that have undergone shifts and karmic transformation during the eclipse cycle. This culmination point can bring to light what's been gestating in the shadows of your consciousness. What connects these fading eclipse energies to our current moment is this full moon's place in a larger pattern, a greater lunar family, a longer sequence of interconnected lunations that weave a narrative over 28 months. This is outlined by Dietrich Pessin in Lunar Shadows 3. This moon family began with a new moon in Libra at 21 degrees on October the 14th, 2023. Consider what seeds were planted back in October 2023. Perhaps you initiated a conversation about boundaries with your partner, or maybe you committed to bringing more fairness to your workplace relationships or family roles. These intentions now blossoming into fullness, revealing both progress and the work ahead. This lunar story will continue on into January 2026, when the last quarter moon will occur on the 10th of January at 20 degrees of Libra. The first quarter moon in this family occurred on July the 13th, 2024 at 22 degrees of Libra, possibly presenting challenges to your initial intentions or asking for adjustments. And now at this full moon we see the fruits of our efforts, whether they are sweet or bitter. The moon family cycle invites us to track unfolding themes around balance, fairness, aesthetics and diplomacy that have emerged since late 2023. This full moon represents a moment of culmination, visibility or emotional reckoning within that longer story arc. This Libra moon family is likely to be most felt by those with planets or angles in the cardinal signs, that's Libra, Capricorn, Aries and Cancer, or the air triplicity, Libra, Aquarius and Gemini, between 18 to 25 degrees. You may choose to consciously work with any of these cycles and choose the length that suits how long it will take to grow your plans. For example, for a quick short-term goal, the monthly cycle is perfect. But for long-term plans, look for a moon family that connects with the relevant planet in your chart for optimum results. An astrologer or astro coach can support you with this. The decan rulers of Libra 3. The third decan of Libra, where this full moon resides, creates a symbolic contradiction. It is co-ruled by Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter pushes for expansion, big picture view, broader horizons and order, while Mercury demands analysis, curiosity and detailed examination, creating that internal tension you may have been feeling. During this full moon, you may notice yourself wanting to grow beyond limitations, while simultaneously analysing every aspect of your balance-seeking journey. Astrologer Austin Coppock's description of this decan as the gyroscope captures its essence, like a spinning top that finds perfect stability through motion, wobbling yet remaining upright amidst disturbance. A gyroscope maintains equilibrium through controlled movement and its own momentum rather than stillness. This powerful metaphor shows how to maintain balance when everything around you spins into chaos. Kira Ryberg names this decan extremes, pointing to the contrast and polarity that Libra must manage. This lunation may reveal the emotional toll of keeping up appearances or holding everything in place. It is time to stop, breathe, and let stillness do its work. The Wild Way Oracle takes shelter. Libra 3. Libra 3 is often associated with a moment of stillness amidst turbulence. The Wild Way Oracle card by Nicola Allen, Take Shelter, shows a dove wrapped in a yellow scarf, taking shelter amidst a storm, with the tree battered by the heavy rains outside, reinforcing this theme with the image of a dove finding peace amidst challenging storms by locating protection within it. The imagery complements the gyroscope metaphor, stability despite the storm, not its absence. The dove appears calm and restful, its hands clasped together in a meditative pose, with the protection of its yellow scarf showing us it has prepared. The tree sways in the storm, but sanctuary can be found when we consciously return to the center. The card offers keywords to help us at this time: rebalancing body and mind, restoration, equilibrium. These are all emphasized now. This lunation calls for recalibrating the nervous system, taking every chance to consciously turn away from overstimulation and embracing the quiet sanctuary of equilibrium. What makes this full moon particularly challenging is how these symbolic elements interact with the current astrological T-square aspect with Mars. External forces may actively push against your equilibrium, like waves crashing against a boat from multiple directions. Mars creates urgency and defensive instincts that make the quiet wisdom of the dove seem impossible, and yet this is precisely why the symbolic guidance. Yet this is us now. The Four of Swords tarot card associated with this decan shows a figure lying in complete repose, yet this isn't passive surrender. Traditional interpretations emphasize that this card depicts necessary mental rest, a strategic retreat that allows for restoration before returning to life's battles. The figure isn't defeated, they're recuperating, gathering strength, finding their center. The Four of Swords suggests taking necessary mental pauses that restore your capacity to engage wisely. During this full moon, a powerful move might be a deliberate pause that restores your mental equilibrium. If you feel overwhelmed, maybe try this brief visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as that gyroscope, spinning steadily. Feel your center holding strong despite external turbulence. Breathe into that center point for just 3 breaths. This momentary practice can help you find mental equilibrium without denying the pressures around you. Your inner eye, dreaming the decans. T. Susan Chang captures this perfectly in her verse for Libra 3. Calm, invoked for mental ease, a wheel turning in the breeze. Amidst the gyre and the spin, cloudy forces rule within. You only see my sleeping form, I am the eye within the storm. The visions of my inner eye restore my peace so I can fly. Watch in stillness, mind the gap. Keep your vigil, find the map. Silence is also a prayer. Real as the world may seem, it is a dream within a dream. Her words remind us that silence is not the absence of action, but a prayerful portal to inner vision. It is in the still point that we remember who we are and where we're going. Under this lunation, mind the gap, and you may find the map. These words speak directly to what this full moon is asking of us, to find centered stillness that allows us to navigate chaos without becoming it. Fixed star spiker. The full moon is conjunct the brilliant fixed star spiker, one of the most fortunate Bohemian stars. Associated with abundance, artistic talent and spiritual refinement, Spiker offers hope, renewal, and a spark of beauty amidst uncertainty. Its nature blends Venus and Mars, offering both love and initiative, grace and vitality. When well aspected, Spiker can bring renown, success, or a sudden, unexpected gift. Traditionally, Spiker talismans were created to dispel scarcity and mischief, attract prosperity, and bring favour in legal or interpersonal conflicts. In alignment with the Libra moon's themes of justice and balance, Spiker's light is a subtle beacon of grace and divine timing. The astrological conversation. The moon in Libra opposes the sun in Aries, forming a full moon axis that draws our attention to the tension between individual will in Aries and relational harmony in Libra. Sun conjunct Chiron in Aries places themes of personal wounding, self-identity, and healing in the spotlight. What relationship or patterns activate your core vulnerabilities, and how might healing be initiated through direct, honest presence? Are you maybe helping another and realizing that the advice you share may have helped your younger self? It still can. Allow that knowledge to help and heal the past, and see if you can apply your own advice to let go of past patterns. Neptune's recent arrival in Aries adds complexity, joining the Sun and Chiron. Neptune may bring a fog of confusion around our sense of self and purpose. This co-presence adds a surreal, spiritual, idealistic, dissolving, or even confusing layer to identity issues. What ideals are fueling your sense of self? What illusions need to be pierced? This combination could make it difficult to discern what's truly happening in our relationships versus what we're projecting or misinterpreting. You may find that boundaries blur, leaving us swinging between unrealistic relationship expectations and complete disillusionment, or you may reach a new level of spiritual connection. T-square with Mars, retracing its retrograde path. Mars in Cancer squares both the Sun and Moon, heightening emotional reactivity and familial tensions. Mars in Cancer often defends indirectly, through withdrawal or protectiveness. Be mindful of emotional overreactions or displaced frustrations, and be aware that even if you are not feeling this, it may be how those around you might be experiencing this time. Venus, ruler of Libra, is in Pisces, her exaltation, but she is out of sight of the Moon and averse to the Sun, suggesting a disconnect between desires and emotional expression. The same applies to Saturn in Pisces, exaltation ruler of Libra, conjunct with Venus. This can bring difficulty aligning responsibilities and emotional needs. The T-square formation, created by Mars in Cancer squaring both the Sun in Aries and the Moon in Libra, forms the central tension point. Imagine this as a stormy sea where three powerful currents collide. Mars in Cancer activates our primal protective instincts like a mother bear defending her cubs. When Mars squares the luminaries from this position, our emotional reactions become heightened and defensive. Psychologically, we may find ourselves caught in an impossible triangle. The Moon in Libra pulls us towards harmony in relationships. The Sun, Chiron in Aries, pushes us to assert our authentic needs despite vulnerability, and Mars in Cancer triggers protective mechanisms when we feel threatened. Each point demands attention, yet satisfying all three simultaneously feels impossible. This configuration creates a perfect storm for relationship tension. Chiron with the Sun makes us acutely aware of vulnerabilities. Neptune confuses our perception of boundaries or draws us to otherworldly concerns. Mars in Cancer intensifies our emotional reactions, making us more guarded precisely when openness might better serve healing. Mars is retracing its retrograde steps and is still in shadow. It will return to Leo, where it began the retrograde journey on the 18th of April. The core challenge is balancing emotional needs with relationship demands. It may help to ask yourself questions like, how can I protect my emotional well-being while still showing up authentically in relationships? How can I honor my needs without creating conflict? The answers are not simple because Mars creates dynamics that make compromise feel impossible. This full moon reveals relationship patterns operating beneath the surface. The Venus-Saturn conjunction in Pisces, despite being averse to the illuminaries, hints at the solution. These rulers of the Libra full moon in the sign of compassion suggest transcending either-or mentality is possible through expanding our capacity for both self-honoring and genuine connection. We can see this in the bound and decan ruler relationships. Relationships illuminated during this full moon may reveal where you've sacrificed either boundaries or connections. Pay attention to relationships where you feel caught between asserting yourself and maintaining peace, as these dynamics are being amplified by the current astrology. Final thoughts. I invite you to envision yourself as that gyroscope, maintaining equilibrium despite external forces pulling you in different directions. The wisdom from T. Susan Chang for this decan reminds us, real as the world may seem, it is a dream. You might try this. Become the observer. Watch your thoughts and emotions without attachment. Notice them passing like clouds in the sky. Allow them to come and go with ease. You are not your thoughts. From this center space, you can find shelter within yourself, honoring both the Four of Swords, mental restoration, and Spica's protective light. Your internal balance becomes your sanctuary amidst life's storms. You can also find the link to the full Mindfulness Observer practice in the description. Travel well, friends. If you're looking for an astrologer and you enjoy my style of astrology, I currently have space to take on new clients. If you would like a personal individual astrology reading, I set a healing Reiki intention for every client before the reading, and you can opt out of this if you prefer when you book at celestiaastrology.com. If you prefer to go deeper and work with the moon cycles and the planets in your personal chart, then I also offer astro coaching. You can contact me through a message here or book at celestiaastrology.com. You can also become a paid subscriber on Substack at a very low monthly cost or an annual cost. And for that, you will receive my Astro Coaching workbook. You can access the archive of posts which I've written, and that will guide you through the workbook. And you can also then join my monthly astrology question and answer, which is a small group where we meet and discuss astrology